Delta and Delta Secrets. Hi everyone, join up. A very important topic today to talk about. And I guess this is the second live video on this page, Delta and Delta Secrets. So, if you can hear me, okay, you can just type something in the chat, because I still don't see any comments till now. Today, as the title implies, I'm gonna talk about helping students work on their weaknesses. You as a teacher, ask yourself a question. Are you able to help your students work on their weaknesses? Yes or no? Please type in the comments below. This is one of the most important jobs of a teacher, is to be able to help the learners or the students to work on their weaknesses, to overcome their weaknesses, to become better at English. Many students have weaknesses. They have problems, issues, linguistic issues, and any other issues. So please tell me in the chat whether yes, you can give like thumbs up or hearts. You can type something in the chat because I still can't see any comments. So we're gonna have like 9 live videos during Ramadan, inshallah. The live video will be 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not gonna talk for long. It's not gonna be half an hour or something. So today I'm talking about the learner, not about the teacher. I'm talking about the learner that has many problems with the language, linguistic problems with vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, or even with the skills. You as a teacher, are you able to help the learner overcome these problems? How are you going to identify the learner's problems? There are some tools that you can use to identify the learner's problems, like using a questionnaire, through observation while you're teaching or someone else is teaching. A diagnostic test, you give it to the learners to know their weaknesses and strengths. An interview, having an interview with the students or with the student to know or to identify their weaknesses in the language, with vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation, or even with the skills. And in order to be able to identify these problems, you need to know the types of mistakes. I don't see any comments. I don't know why. Maybe because this is the second live on this page. So you need to know the types of mistakes. Okay? In English, the types of mistakes can be, we can have mistakes in accuracy, or mistakes which is related to communication or fluency. So some students might have accuracy problems or fluency problems. So you should be able to decide on whether the problem is with accuracy or with fluency. Another type is oral or written. Is it an oral mistake or a written mistake? Okay, so accuracy or fluency, oral or written. And the last one is it an error or a slip? And many teachers ask about this. What's the difference between an error and a slip of tongue? Okay, an error is when the learner do not know the rule. Okay, they are making mistakes with the present perfect simple tense because they didn't study it before. So they don't know the correct form. They are not able to correct themselves. So this is an error. If the learner can correct himself or herself, then this is a slip. Like I'm speaking English with you now, and I'm speaking only English because this page has people who are not Arab, so I don't want to switch them off. So if I say something like information are, then I say, oh, information is. So this is not an error, it's a slip, okay, a slip of tongue, S-L-I-P, because I can correct the error myself. I use something which is called the correction technique, okay, or repair strategy, okay? You fix it, you fix your error. So 6 types of errors. Please type them here in the comments. The first one is accuracy. The second one, communication or fluency. The third one, oral. The fourth one, written. The fifth one is the error. And number 6 is the slip. So as a teacher, if you decided to help the students or help the learners work on their weaknesses, you need to know the types of errors or the types of mistakes that students might make. This is number 1. Number 2 is the reasons why students make those mistakes. The reasons why students make those mistakes. You need to understand this. Can you think of some? I'm going to give you 5 reasons. The first reason why students make mistakes is that they haven't learned the word or the structure before. I want you to imagine you have a beginner level learner and they are making mistakes with the passive voice. What's the reason? Ask yourself. The reason is, simply speaking, they haven't learned the passive voice before. That's why they are making mistakes with the passive voice. So this is the first reason. Can you please type it there? I don't see any comments now, but this happened with me yesterday when I was live on my other page. So, but I saw the comments after the live. So don't worry if I don't see your comments, guys. Just write down things here and we will see them. Just type them. So the first reason why students make mistakes is they haven't learned that before. They are beginner level learners and they haven't learned about the passive voice. This is the first reason. The second reason could be if they have learned that structure before, okay, but they still make mistakes. This means they didn't have enough time to practice using the structure. So the first reason, they haven't learned the structure. The second reason, they have learned the structure, but they haven't had enough time to practice using the structure. Okay? The third reason is they have learned the structure. Yeah, I started seeing the comments. Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan. Very good, mashallah. Thank you so much. So the third reason could be you didn't give them enough time to check. They know that they learned the structure and they practice it. Okay, they had enough time to practice. But now when you give them a piece of writing or you ask them to write something, you didn't give them a checklist or you didn't give them enough time to check their answers with a peer or self-check, you know. So these are 3 reasons. Reason number 4, please write them in the comments. Reason number 4 is L1 interference. And when we talk about L1 interference, we can give many examples actually. In Arabic, for example, we say walad shatir, which means in English a clever boy. Clever boy. The adjective comes before the noun that modifies. In Arabic, some students will be affected by the first language, which is Arabic, and they will say boy clever, not clever boy. This is one example. Think of other examples. Another example is with the present progressive or present continuous tense. He is eating now. Many Arab learners say he eating now without is. Because in Arabic, we do not have this one translated, the verb be. So they simply say, he eating now. I coming now. Not I'm coming. Not he's eating. Okay? That's because we do not have the be, the verb be in Arabic. So this is called L1 interference. There are many examples that you can think of. Please, if you know any example, just type it in the comments. Reason number 5 is some words or some sounds are difficult to pronounce in their native language. Like in Arabic, for example, many Arab learners do not pronounce the th sound and the dah sound properly. And this is a problem, actually. So they say the man told the woman about something which is not very good. Okay? Why? Because in the Egyptian accent, for example, we do not say الثريا, we say الثريا. We do not say بحثت, we say بحثت. So we have problems with the sound in our native language. That's why when we speak English, we make the same mistake. We do not say theater, we say theater. We do not say thin, we say sin, which is totally different. So today we talked about three things. The first thing was, are you the kind of teacher who is able to help the learners overcome their problems or work on their weaknesses? Think of that. How do I know that? We said questionnaire, observation, interview, whatsoever. And then in order for you to be able to identify the linguistic problems that the students have, you need to know the types of errors or types of mistakes. And we mentioned 6. Okay? We mentioned 6. After that, we can say them very quickly. Accuracy and communication, oral and written, errors and slips. After that, we moved on to talk about why learners make mistakes, the reasons behind making mistakes. We mentioned 3 reasons with learning the lesson, practicing the lesson, checking the production, the output of the learner. And 2 other reasons about the L1 interference and the difficulty to make certain sounds in their native language. Thank you so much, and see you the day after tomorrow. We'll be with you in Ramadan during this holy month, day in, day out, okay? So day in, day out means we're not going to be there live tomorrow. We're going to be there the day after tomorrow. So stay tuned. If you have any questions, if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, just type them down in the comments. Right now, I see only 2 comments. But I believe after ending this live video, I can see the other comments. So please write down everything we talked about today in the comments below. And if you have any question now, I'm going to wait for 30 seconds, half a minute, if you write any question. Yeah, this is a very good point, Mr. Hassan. Yeah, whenever you have a diagnostic test, the main aim of a diagnostic test is to know the weaknesses and the strength of some students. So yes, but we focus more on weaknesses because we want to help the students work on them. Okay, this is how we build our courses, based on the weaknesses. Yeah, but we should consider both, yeah. Ustaz Al-Faraj Amir, thank you so much. What's the difference between mistake and error, please? Mistake is the umbrella, as we said. Mistake is the umbrella, okay? Under the mistake, we have errors and slips. Errors and slips. And we said the difference. Error is something that you, a mistake that you make and you don't know how to correct it. You don't know that this is wrong, this is incorrect. Like a beginner level learner using the present perfect tense in a wrong way. They don't know how to correct it. So this is an error. But if you're a teacher, you speak English really well, but you made a mistake with something unintentionally. Like you say, for example, information R. This information R. And then you found out that information is anyway. So you say, oh, sorry, information is. So if you can correct yourself, if you can use the repair strategy, then this is a slip. Okay? Not an error. And both of them are mistakes. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you next time, inshallah.